Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of a podcast. I'm your host, Ilya, and today we are diving into a very interesting topic, which is called dreams and goals. We all have dreams, right? Those little or big things that we want to achieve, thoughts that keep us up at night or bring a smile to our faces when we stuck in traffic jam or bored in a meeting. But what exactly are dreams and goals? And how do they differ? Well, that's what we are going to explore today. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's get into it. Let's discuss everything and try to understand. Breathe deeply. We're about to start. So, let's begin with dreams. Dreams are those things that often seem a little out of reach, a little too fantastical. They are usually the things we think about when we are imagining a different life or when we are daydreaming. You know, like becoming a famous musician, traveling around the world, or even something like living on a farm far away from the city. You understand that this is impossible for now. But dreams are often driven by passion and curiosity, and they can change as we grow older or as we experience different things in life. They are not always practical, but they are essential, very important, because they give us hope and motivation. But here is the thing about dreams: they are often very unrealistic. That's why goals are important for you. Goal is the next step after your dream, and goals, on the other hand, are like the roadmap to making your dreams a reality, while dreams are the destination. So it's a point B. You go from point A to point B. Goals are the steps you take to get there. If you think that I need to get there, like to get to Paris by car, this is like your basically goal. But if you say, I want to get to Paris one day, but it's like your dream. But when you say, I want to get to Paris by car, this is your goal. It's more realistic. And you say, what tools, what instruments will you use to achieve your goal? That's why goals are more specific, measurable, and they have a timeline or a deadline. For example, if you want to be a really good runner, you have to run almost every day and do a lot of hard work together with your coach. By setting goals, you are essentially breaking down that big, sometimes intimidating dream into smaller, manageable tasks. And you understand it's possible to achieve it. And it's very important. It makes the process less difficult and more achievable for you. In this case, you clearly understand. Oh, here is it. I can achieve it. Now, you might be wondering, how do I turn my dreams into goals? Well, it starts with clarity. We need a clarification. You need to understand that your dream is why and what it matters to you. Once you have the clarity, you can start setting smart goals. Goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. That's what you need to keep in your mind. For example, let's say your dream is to run a marathon. A smart goal would be, I will train for the marathon by running 3 times a week for the next 6 months, increasing my distance by 10% every 2 weeks. This goal is specific because it details and outlines what you are going to do. It's measurable with a running schedule and distance. It's achievable, of course, and relevant if you are physically and mentally able. And it's a time bound with a 6 months timeline. So, 6 months, this is your deadline, and your brain understands it perfectly well. But here is an important thing to remember: it's okay if your dreams and goals change over time. Life is very unpredictable, and sometimes we pass through some things which are very difficult to explain. Maybe you discover that the dream you had is not really what you want anymore. Or maybe you find a new passion. That's perfectly fine. So, no worries. The key is to be flexible and adapt to new situations while still keeping some form of goal setting in your life. This is what we call adaptability. And this is something that ensures that you are always moving forward and in the even if the destination changes. Before we wrap up, I mean finish. Before we wrap up today, I want to leave you with this thought. Dreams, listen carefully. Dreams and goals are not just achieving something, they are about growth, learning, pushing yourself beyond your limits, and explaining and proving to yourself that everything is possible. They